You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. So you know on Twitter the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Echo. We're going to be finishing off the little short story, and then we're heading right on into Flynn's path. So y'all just strap back in, y'all. We're heading back into Echo. Anyway, alarm chain, you're up, and let's go. As I stumble towards the house, I realize that the thing is still waiting for me. He jumped out of the car and hid on the porch. I whimper and stare at the shadows, then I run to the house. I stumble back and forth, the ground sinking towards the window wells like quicksand, sucking me in. I dodge around them, pulling my hooves out of the sinking grass, about to get stuck. Once I get to the back door, I shove my paws into my pockets. There aren't any keys because I left them in the ignition. I sob again and look around desperately. The longer I hold still, the deeper I sink into the ground. Again, I almost give in, but then I see the treehouse. Like my legs are made of lead, I stumble across the yard, feeling the thing crawling after me. I leap up and cling to the ladder before scurrying up. My hooves slipping on the wood as I feel the tree start to sink as well. I fumble up through the opening, breaking through cobwebs and snorting up dust. I crawl to a corner and curl up, covering my eyes and facing the wall. I beg Chase to forgive me, because now I can't get him help. Because now I'm now stuck on this sinking ship with a monster. I curl up tighter and tighter, so tight that I become my own source of gravity, my own black hole, sucking up everything around me, stretching it thin, then tearing it apart. It's only then that everything settles. My parents found me 3 hours later after someone had reported the accident to the cops a few hours after I'd left. My dad took responsibility for it so I wouldn't get tested for anything. He made up some excuse about walking to the house because he forgot his cell phone. I guess I didn't wonder why blood was everywhere and my dad had no injuries. I realized what happened was just a bad trip, but I don't have any plans to try it again. I guess it helped me discover things about myself. Things I'd rather not have found out. Even now, irrational fears get the better of me, and I'm still paranoid as fuck, like everyone's keeping a big secret from me. Sometimes I'm positive they're hiding the fact that they found a dead otter in the car. Oh, God. Alright then, that was the end of that. So, we're gonna jump right back in to Flynn's path, if I remember where it was. Was it right there? Yes. Yeah, I think. Yes, I believe so. Alright. Alright. Who am I gonna go with? Go after Flynn. I look back at Flynn as he winds his way down the trail towards the road. I sigh angrily, starting towards him. Chase, I wouldn't. Someone's gotta talk sense into that idiot. He thinks he can just get away with this shit? You know how he is. I keep walking. He's moving pretty slow, so it's easy to catch up with him. He's got his hands jammed into his pockets as he walks along, his head down. Hey, Flynn! He jerks his head up, then looks right back around at me. He's chewing on a toothpick, which he promptly pulls out of his muzzle. The hell? What the fuck do you think you're doing, Chase? Go back. Yeah, right. You think you just walk away from me after saying shit like that? He stops walking and turns around fully to face me. I step up right in front of him, just a few feet away. He looks me over, and for some reason I can see a smile threatening to crack his face as he tries to keep it hidden. Yeah? And what are you gonna do about it? I shrug. Talk? We were having a good time. Why do you have to go and return everything good? He suddenly steps up close, thrusting his chest out into me. It hits me around the neck and I stumble back. Not in the mood. He sticks the toothpick back in his muzzle before he turns and starts walking away again. Back to the river so you can all talk about what an asshole I am. What? I watch him go for a bit. I'm not too worried about Flynn actually beating me up. I'd annoyed him pretty bad before, but he hadn't ever actually hurt me, at least not maliciously. On top of that, he'd have Leo to answer to if he ever did anything like that, and he knows how that would end up. Still, he did look pretty angry when he stepped towards TJ, more than I'd ever seen him, probably. Now might not be the best time to do this. Keep going. Screw him. Once again, he thinks the act of an asshole can just brush off whoever he doesn't want to talk to. Well, I'm about to show him exactly why that doesn't work when it's a stubborn otter he's up against. I start following again, doing a little jog to catch up. This time Flynn hears me and whirls around, pulling the toothpick out of his mouth again. Your ears filled with water? I said, fuck off! I flinch a little under his yelling, but I square my shoulders and walk up to him, standing my ground. Now I'm only 3 feet away. Or what? You're gonna hit me? Really? Go on. Try it. I look him in the eye, and immediately I know I have nothing to worry about. This is Flynn, after all, one of my best friends. Whether or not he'd ever admit to it, our little group is family, no matter how many stupid fights we get into. He's trying to scare me, though, with the way he's leaning over me, glaring. I just smirk up at him, and pretty soon I see his facade crack. He slumps down, letting out one massive sigh, deflating like a life-size lizard balloon. Fucking honors, what do you want? I want you to stop being a dick. Flynn looks right back at me and glares, some of the posturing coming back. What? Oh Christ, you heard me. That is not a good thing to say to me right now. Flynn starts leaning over me again, and I lean right back, almost bumping muzzles. Yeah, well, everything you said back there was not a good thing to say. I see the corner of one of his eyes twitch. We're so close I can smell the beer on his breath. I see that smirk tug at his muzzle again. Coming in for a kiss? He presses even closer, and I feel my muzzle flush, but I'm not backing down. I see how it is. You're bored with Leo, and now you want some lizard action, eh? No, I just want an explanation. He raises a brow and leans back a little. Of why you're being such a dick when we're all supposed to be having fun. Actually, I think I know exactly what this is. You're trying to prove me wrong. Well, being an obnoxious twit doesn't suddenly mean you've got a personality. Anyway, they told me to speak my mind. I did. He turns away again and starts walking. I'll quickly catch up and start walking alongside him. That's not an answer. Besides, even if something's true, that doesn't mean you have to point it out in the middle of everyone's vacation. Flynn keeps walking, opting to glare at the dusty trail. Do you really think I'm just looking to bone all of you? I'm not! Flynn laughs, and for once that's not cynical. It's genuine. I think what you're doing right now isn't helping your case, Chase. Chase's case. What? I'm just trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with you, Flynn. My phone buzzes and I pull it out. Are you okay? It's a text from Leo. Everything's fine, and I'm just trying to talk to Flynn. Flynn snorts right into my ear, making me jump. I jerk my phone away as I realize he's been reading over my shoulder. What? Waffle Boy thinks I'm gonna clock you for being annoying? You almost hit TJ! Almost. At this point, we're walking along Lake Emma Road, the trail winding between it and the reservoir itself. There's a little guardway on the lakeside, but it's rusty, and I seriously doubt that it would stop any car from going over into the lake. Another 10 minutes and we'll reach the motel. My phone buzzes again as I get a response from Leo. If he does anything, call me. Flynn sighs again. He stops and I turn to face him. He looks sad for once, staring hard at the ground. I just sort of blacked out for a second. I was angry. That's what murderers say after they kill their exes. Jesus, Chase. Well, okay, I fucked up. Yeah, no shit. It's just something that's been fucking with me ever since it happened. He's not telling the truth. Flynn looks up at me sharply. You know he isn't. Flynn's staring at me hard as if he's looking for something, and this time I do look away. Well, what if he is? No, you saw him right after it happened. How scared he was. How he couldn't even look at any of us. I have no idea what to say. Flynn never talks about this. Before today, the last time I'd heard him mention Sydney was like 6 years ago. It really fucked me up. And that we just thought we could just come back to this stupid fucking lake. He kicks his foot across the ground towards the reservoir, some pebbles falling over the steep drop and plopping into the water. It fucked us all up, but Flynn most of all. Look, Flynn, maybe something did happen. Something he doesn't want to tell us. But it's TJ. You know what kind of person he is. And that's what makes him this so fucking shitty. But we were kids. He was like 10 years old. We're different people now. Looking behind Flynn, I see Leo's van coming up the road. Flynn waits for me to go on, but sees me looking back and does so himself. As soon as he sees the van, he folds his arms and turns his head to look out across the lake. As it pulls up alongside us, the window rolls down, and I see Jen in the passenger seat, Leo next to her. Hey, we're heading back. Want to get in? Flynn doesn't say anything, instead choosing to continue staring at the lake. I decide that it's probably a good idea for me to walk with him instead of making him do it alone. Nah, it's alright, we're just talking. Leo shifts his gaze to Flynn, studying him before turning back to me. Alright, text me later, okay? 1 second, y'all. It's water time. Okay. The window rolls back up as the van pulls away, kicking up some dust from the roadside as it does. I turn back to Flynn, who stood looking at the lake, chewing slowly on his toothpick. That's when his stomach growls so loudly it almost makes me jump. I snort and Flynn fixes me with a glare. What? I didn't get to eat. Neither did I, which is your fault. Flynn grunts and keeps walking up the trail toward Echo, the town's windows and rusted signs glinting in the desert haze. I skip up alongside him. Hey, why don't we go to the diner? It's just a few minutes away. Flynn grimaces. I can't eat that shit anymore. What? When's the last time you ate there? A few years ago. Wow, what do you eat then? Flynn laughs. I go to Peyton where they actually have grocery stores. Oh, okay. A few moments of silence pass before Flynn speaks up again. I guess it wouldn't hurt to eat there again, for old time's sake. As we walk into the diner, my senses are assaulted by nostalgia. Everything looks and smells the same, from the faded patched stools to the smell of burgers and fries. Out of habit, I start walking towards the corner booth, and the one we always used to sit at. Where are you going? Huh? I look back at Flynn, who's standing near the counter, looking ready to sit on one of the stools. Oh, come on, Flynn, these are uncomfortable. Besides, it'll be easier to talk. Some of the patrons are starting to look up from their meals. Flynn looks around, clearly embarrassed, and shoves his hands into his pockets, making his way over to me. Fine. I slide into the booth, into my usual spot on the right-hand side. Usually Leo would sit next to me. I'll turn the music up a little bit. Flynn sits opposite me, leaning back, eyes half open. Tired? Yep. I wait for him to elaborate, but he doesn't go on. Up late? Flynn reaches up and rubs his eyes. Yeah. The long breath he takes in before he says that tells me he's starting to get annoyed, so I drop it. Luckily, that's when Janice, the old diner waitress, comes over to our table. Chase! My goodness, what are you doing here? Hi, Janice. Just doing a school project. Oh, really? I wonder what sort of schooling might be here for you. I'm actually just getting some film of the town. Flynn's covering both his eyes with his hands now, as if that's going to make him invisible. And you, Flynn, can't say I've seen you at all recently. Flynn makes a low grunting sound, not taking his hands away. Janice keeps talking, though, unfazed. Well, anything you'd like to drink while you're deciding on your meal? Water. Chase? Water. Damn, that's a lot of... just water, thanks. Sure thing. Flynn does move his hands at this point and looks at me. His expression is odd, like he wants to say something. I look back and raise my brows, but he just shuts his muzzle and looks out the window. All right. Oh, wrong voice. All right, I'll be right back with you. As Janice moves on to some other patrons, I look back at Flynn. Were you going to say something? Flynn shakes his head, folding his arms on the table and hunching forward. No. Somehow his mood is even darker than it was earlier. I sigh, frustrated. It's so damn hard to understand Flynn. His mood swings are absolutely ridiculous. I lean back and fold my arms, scowling. What? You know exactly what. I'm trying to be friendly here. Flynn shrugs, a bewildered expression on his face. I don't know what to say, Chase. It's been a shitty day. I don't say anything and just look out the window like Flynn. Again, there's a tense silence between us. I just listen to the clatter of silverware from the two other people in the diner, along with the old rockabilly music playing over the crackly speakers. Finally, Flynn sighs. I decide that's his signature. That's his signature expression, like Carl's shrug. 1 second, y'all. Some more water. Sorry, I'm just like I said. It's been a shitty day. It's fine. That's when Janice brings over our drinks before taking a notepad out to take our orders. All right, what do y'all have? A tuna melt, onion rings. Uh-huh, and you, Chase? Roast beef sandwich, tuna melt. I'll get the tuna melt, too. Alrighty, and what'll you have on the side? What did he have? Onion rings. Okay, tuna melt. And then? Onion rings. Onion rings, please. Flynn is staring at me in a weird, squinting sort of way, as if he's trying to see something. Great, I'll have it right over. Sit tight. As Janice bustles away, I look to the side, then back at Flynn. What? Flynn keeps squinting, his face incredulous now. Do you really not... He doesn't finish, and instead shakes his head. Never mind. Seriously, you're kind of freaking me out. Flynn chuckles and covers his eyes again, rubbing. Same. What the hell is he talking about? I'm opening my mouth to ask again, but he cuts me off. Listen, I've got the day off tomorrow. Do you want to do something? I stare at him, at a loss for words. First he's acting like a complete douche, then he tells me I'm scaring him, and now he's inviting me to hang out with him? Is he, what do you call it, bipolar? I guess? Alright, I'll come by sometime afternoon. Maybe with Carl. He doesn't do shit, so he should be free. Okay, I guess I could use a break from working on the project for a bit. Flynn goes on to tell me that he and Leo often go out to fish on their days off, and it's actually a lot of fun. I'm still trying to get used to the shifts in conversation when Janice shows up with our food. Flynn stares down at his giant greasy sandwich while I take a giant bite of mine. Fuck, I'm gonna regret this. Why? It tastes great. Well, you're lucky. This kind of food fucks up my stomach. Do you want to make your own food? Yep. I snort and Flynn looks up sharply. Sorry, it's just hard to imagine. Hey, I'm a real good cook. I guess the expression on my face is showing I don't bite because he smirks back at me. Fine. Sometime this week you're coming over. I'll show you then. I shrug, even though I feel like I've won some kind of secret battle we were having. Deal. Flynn pulls me over rocks and boulders. I stumble along, trying to keep my balance. Flynn's insistent, though, almost angry. We reach the edge of the lake and he throws me down. I stare at the wet sand, then back up at Flynn. He points and tells me to dig. I start digging. I don't know what I'm looking for, and I ask, but Flynn doesn't say anything. Water keeps filling the hole. It's hard to keep sand from sliding back in. Finally, I reach in deep and someone grabs my paw. I stay like that for a long time. Tuesday. How's this look? Carl dangles the lure in front of himself, bouncing it all around. Flynn squints at it incredulously. I'm pretty sure his muzzle would be hanging open if he didn't have a toothpick in his mouth. Jesus fucking Christ, Carl, what is that? What? Carl has tied the spinner in a giant ugly knot, the string sticking out in every which way. This is why I told you to fucking wait. I guess Carl had gotten impatient and decided to tie his own lure while Flynn helped me with mine. Oh god, this sounds like some copyrighted music. Let me lower that. There we go. Okay. Flynn takes out a knife from his pocket and takes the spinner from Carl, scowling. I'd throw this away if I didn't have so fucking few of them. What's wrong with you, Carl? Carl shoves his paws into his pockets as he watches Flynn struggle with getting the knot fixed. I'll see what the big deal is. It's attached, isn't it? He looks at me and grins, shrugging his shoulders. I shrug back. You made it so fucking big, it's not gonna spin right. Flynn's muttering angrily under his breath, squeezing his forearms to his chest as he tries to keep his fingers steady. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!